Hello everyone, this is Damla Aktekin with A Drop of Om. This is part 4 of the Crystal Healing Myths video series, and I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you for joining in live, or if you're listening to this later, thank you for stopping by. Please do stay until the end because I usually share quite a bit. And you can also check part 1, 2, 3 of this series where I talk more about my crystal healing story, what crystal healing is, as well as I share quite a few crystal healing myths that will help you change how you see crystal healing and help you deepen your crystal healing. So yesterday we talked about some practical aspects of crystal healing meditation, which were myth 1 was you need lots of crystals. No, you don't. You actually need just one to get started. Myth number 2 was your crystals need to be big, and the answer to that is not really, but you do want them to be about an inch so that they're easy to handle and they don't get lost. And the last one was crystals are expensive, and I gave you some options about how to find ethical and ethically sourced and sustainably harvested crystals, as well as where to find some crystal sets. And you can also find those recommendations at adropofom.com, adropofom.com. If you go to my blog, on the right hand side you will find a link that says crystal healing recommendations, where I'm listing options for buying crystals in bulk if you wanted to gift them, or I'm listing some crystal sets that you can get really affordably to get you started. And remember, you actually don't need a whole lot, and even if you do have a whole lot, my recommendation is to concentrate on a small selection, 5 or 7, so that you can begin to form that beautiful connection and get to know your crystals, and they can get to know you. Which brings me to today. So we're going to talk about 2 more myths today. And the first one is crystals only work for certain issues or chakras. For instance, there's a common myth that says that rose quartz only goes to the heart because it's all about love. Rose quartz does go to the heart, that's true, but in my experience, it also allows to go to your throat, your third eye, your crown. The rose quartz loves to travel. So I personally don't believe in dogma. I don't believe in anything that's not your lived-in experience. So for me, even if someone tells me rose quartz goes to the heart, my engineer brain is gonna be like, okay, let me test it out. Let me see if it does really love to go to the heart, and I'm also open to the option that rose quartz is actually a whole lot more than what we give it credit for, and it may love to go to my belly. It may love to do other things. So the short answer is no, I don't believe in categorizing crystals into they only work with certain body parts or certain meridians even, or certain issues, because when you establish a connection with a crystal, you're establishing a connection with a structure that has a vibrational field and a vibrational connection to its own species. That means that you have access through just one single crystal to so much more than you can just imagine, just with a limited sense of view. So my goal and my mission is to have you open up your perspective, expand your vision, and see and open your experience to what else might be possible, what else is possible beyond our limited understanding. And by all means, I don't negate anyone's experience. Perhaps you will find that as you work with a rose quartz or as you work with an amethyst, that they love to go to certain locations. In my experience, it honestly, if you have two samples of the same crystals, they might like to do different things. Like no two crystals are the same, they're very unique. So just be open to be surprised is all I'm saying. Be open to be surprised and don't limit yourself to certain dogma or you know what might be said in a book, because this is crystal healing meditation can be so much more than just putting things into categories and saying this crystal works for this crystal works for that. And in my experience, that's not even the point. It's not that you're trying to, as we talked about on part 2, we're not trying to eradicate something. We're trying to build and cultivate a connection and a relationship with crystals, with ourselves, with our soul helpers, and with the soul of life. So that's a completely different approach to saying, what can this crystal do for me? and I don't believe that approach of what can this crystal do for me is going to take you that far. But if you open up to what they're here to teach you, which is helping and supporting you for cultivating that beautiful and loving connection, you can experience so much more magic. So, and the next one is one of my favorite myths too. And that myth is, in our perfectionist society, the myth says, I need to know all about crystals, chakras, and energy fields to experience and get the benefits of crystal healing meditation. No, you don't. Because this is experiential learning, remember the formula: you, the crystal, your intention, and time. So all you need to do really is to set aside that time and get one crystal. You only need one to get started. Set a beautiful intention and just be with the crystals. Just be with the crystals. So that said, though, I'm going to add to that, because I do have an online course. In the next part, I'm going to share with you a little bit more about it. And the course is called Crystal Healing Simplified. And you can go to my website and you can begin to read a little bit more about it. You can find it under online courses. And what I'm teaching there is, again, I'm not going to be teaching you all there's to know about crystals. But what I'm teaching there is a foundational understanding of what crystals are and how they work. Because I have been living, breathing, and practicing and working and healing and, being with crystals for so long, and I've been, healing, groups of people, healing people one-on-one with crystals, and through my own experiential learning, as well as through my research, I have gathered a level of understanding that I know will deepen your experience with crystals. It's a lot like looking at that equation, and I actually break down what are the normal things you can expect to experience in your body, how, anything and everything you need to know on a practical manner about the crystals and the preparing and the invoking protection, and how to care for them and all those things. And then we open up that third box, which is the intention, and I have worksheets for you, and I have tips for you on how to set an intention and why to set an intention. And in terms of the time, I have worksheets for you to dive deeper into what happens for you in each meditation. And I actually have 9 different crystal healing meditations in the course, where you can experience chakra healing, you can experience intentional healing, you can experience bath bliss meditation. So I'm giving you a lot of different options and a lot of different choices to dive into, and also giving you a foundation and an understanding. Because here's the thing, and that's what I did. You can go out there into the wild. You can get your own crystals. By all means, please do, or you probably already have crystals. But unless you have experienced how to activate them with your intention, and that's the key. And in order to activate them, you actually need to have that foundational understanding or of who and what they are and how they work and how you can partner and co-create with them. Remember the intention, which I feel is really, really important. It's gonna go slow, and it may not go as well as you thought it will go. But again, by all means, if you want to go do this by yourself, and if these videos help you in some way in shape or form, please do that. I'm all for experiential learning. You can certainly do it yourself. But my goal and my mission is to support you in that journey and to give you a foundation, understanding, and tools of the guided meditation that will take you even further than you can go with your own starter tools. So when we say, crystals only work for certain issues or chakras, again, we're just limiting ourselves to put crystals in a box. And I don't believe that they can be put in a box, because you are a crystal being. Just think of yourself. You're so much more than what you think you are. You're capable of so much more than sometimes you're even aware of. And in the same way, crystals as vibrational structures and beings, they can't be put, or at least I don't want to put them in boxes. That's my way of looking at them. You can have your way, of course, but I found this open and expanded view to be so much more valuable and honestly open to play. When I say something like, oh, this crystal only does this crystal only works with this issue, then it's sort of limiting yourself to what they can show you, what they can teach you. Versus when you say, okay, today, what's the crystal that's calling out to me, and how can I partner with them, and what is possible? Where do they even want to go on my body today? They may want to go somewhere else tomorrow. So it just opens up so many more fun possibilities. And in terms of needing to know all about crystals, chakras, and energy fields, is you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know even where the chakras are in the meditations that I teach. I'm actually walking through where the chakras are and how you can place. And if you don't, where they are, that's great, wonderful. But I mean, it's not about that. It's about how. It's not about the degree of the information. It's about how you approach this practice, how you bring yourself in contact with crystals, how you handle them, how you say hi to them, how you say bye to them, how you lay them down on your body, how you begin to have a conversation with them within your meditation. It doesn't have to be a conversation with words, but it's a vibrational conversation. And how you create a safe space and boundaries, invoking protection as you do that. So it's not about the what, it's not about the degree of information you have or not. It's about how you approach this practice and how you begin with a beginner's mind. You begin with being open to possibilities, being open to what this experience is here to teach you. And that's going to make all the difference. And the one thing that I want you to remember, if you don't remember anything else from this video series, or from, you know, having a contact with me and this, you know, the crystal healing meditations that I teach, is that in my world and the way I like to teach it, crystal healing is all about love. You know, we often talk about having tools, and we talk about having practices that support us in our life's journey, in our healing journey. And crystal healing is a wonderful, amazing support tool that you do want to have on your, you know, backpack in your cupboard because it's amazing. Honestly, if you open yourself up to it, it can be pretty awesome and amazing. And I often tell people it's not about using the tools. It's not about like having, I don't know, some pills out of the medicine cabinet and saying, what can you do for me? What are you here to do for me? But it's about falling in love with your tools, falling in love with your practices. How can you open yourself up to fall in love with your crystals? Fall in love with the time with this you spend with them. Fall in love with reading more about them, and hearing more about them, learning more about them through an online course, perhaps through my online course, the Crystal Healing Simplified. But it can be so much more when you shift your perspective from let me use them to let me be with them. And perhaps it's not like love at first sight for you, which it was for me. Perhaps it's more, okay, let's get to know each other. Perhaps we can be friends, and you gather another ally and a companion for your healing journey. So thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow is the last day. I will be sharing 3 more myths with you, and I will tell you a little bit more about my online course, upcoming online course, Crystal Healing Simplified. If you have any questions at all, let me know. If you feel like your friends, your family would enjoy this, please tag them in comments. And I'm thankful for your support, and please share these videos with anyone you feel would be interested, and have a wonderful, beautiful day. Bye.